Hey guys, I'm IzDaisho, and I'm here bringing you some Hearthstone, and today we're going to do some ranked matches. I am currently pretty low down in the ladder. I haven't really been doing this much. I played a couple of games yesterday, and I went about even, so you actually fall down quite a bit. But that's not really a big deal to me. I was hoping to get into the top 100 so that by the end of the season I would still be on the top, but that does not really seem like a goal that is easily achievable by me. But anyway, I'm going to be playing with the Hunter deck that I spent a lot of the last video that I was talking about, constructed about. And yeah, hopefully this will work out. So we're playing against a warlock, and as I mentioned in the video, when you're playing against warlock, you always want to basically mulligan to as if you were playing an aggro warlock, even if you end up playing against a control one, because the control one, the matchup's a lot better. So I'm going to keep this arcane shot here. Could end up working out, but I'm really looking for explosive trap. Not a great hand, but it's also not terrible. It would be really bad if he's got a Voidwalker. This Leper Gnome would just be significantly worse. And the worst part about Voidwalker is you can't really tell exactly what deck they're playing, because multiple decks play Voidwalker. But if he's going to coin out another 1-drop, then I'm pretty sure I know. Or it could be another Voidwalker. Alright, so looks like I'm just going to go ahead and steady shot here, and then pass the turn. No, you know what? I'm gonna use this Hunter's Mark. Am I gonna use this Hunter's Mark? I can't use the Hunter's Mark. Well, alright, so what are the chances that he would coin out a second Voidwalker if he was playing a control warlock? Because you'd want to keep the cards in hand for your Twilight Drakes and your Mountain Giants. And then, well, I'm still getting 2 for 1. I can use the Unleash the Hounds later to finish off the Voidwalker. So, you know, I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Yep, there's the Direwolf Alpha, which basically proves what deck I'm playing against. So, Timberwolf here? No Timberwolf. But that's fine, because I still have this Arcane Shot for this guy. Go ahead and use the Steady Shot, and then pass the turn right back. I mean, I could have used Unleash the Hounds there, and an Arcane Shot, but I don't think that would have been the right play. With Hunter's Mark, I think I could have cleared his board. So he's playing an aggro-ish warlock, but like the mid-rangey aggro one. So Freezing Trap's not great here, but it's also not terrible. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Keep steady shotting. And hopefully he attacks with the Harvest Golem first, but I don't really see that as being too likely. I mean, he's not really too worried about any of the traps, and if it's misdirection... Mortal Coil, okay. It's a little strange to me, especially when I just played a trap and it easily could be misdirection. Alright, so he's just gonna do that thing. It's a reasonable play, and Freezing Trap was not gonna get much better against him than removing one of his creatures and him having to pay extra mana for it. So it looks like he's just gonna replay it for 3, but that's fine. So I'm really looking to pick up a Starving Buzzard here. There's a Wolf Rider, so just gonna end up trading this for one of his guys. Not really a better use for it. But yeah, I'm really looking to pick up a Starving Buzzard because I can get at least 3 draws off of it and hopefully end up picking up a Timberwolf in the process, so that my hounds can be a lot more useful. I still have this Hunter's Mark. At some point it might be useful. Take out like a Shield Bearer or something. Shield Bearer is a really funny one that they started playing. But either way, I think I'm just gonna Arcane Shot that and Steady Shot here. And I'm playing this one really slowly, but I think this is probably the best way to do it for now, because I don't really have a good way of dealing with any of his other cards until I draw a Starving Buzzard. No, that's not good. Seems like I'm going to have to pull the trigger on this Unleash the Hounds this turn. Okay, so what happens if I unleash Hunter's Mark this? I can kill it. I got 4 guys. I can kill that. And then I can kill command him. And then shoot him down to 11. And then the next turn I can Leroy. Hope for Huffer. That's only 10. Alright, so maybe what I have to do here is just hope for... Man, even... Alright, well, let's do it. Leok. Well, that's actually the one that I wanted. But it doesn't really help me that much. I only get 1 extra guy through. And I'm probably still just dead to a Soulfire. Or a Power Overwhelming. So there's really not much I can do here. Or even another Argent Commander. And he's got 4 cards in hand and he can draw. So there's very little chance that I do win. That was a good game though. My deck didn't really do enough. For whatever reason, I just didn't really draw the right parts, and him having both Voidwalkers on the first turn of the game was pretty good, but, you know, that happens every once in a while, and, not really much you can do about it. It's just not a great draw. I had pretty good answers to his deck, but my deck doesn't really want to be answering his cards. I just was forced to because of those Voidwalkers, which are actually pretty good against my deck. I've been thinking about dropping the Leper Gnomes recently. They've been a lot worse in the metagame because people are playing stuff like Voidwalker and Ardent Squire. Which, I mean, the reason why I'm still willing to play it is because it still gets in 2 damage regardless, and usually does a couple, or usually trades with something, or at least a Divine Shield, or like half of a Warlock or something, or half of a Voidwalker or something like that. But anyway, Eagle Hornbow is a good card to have regardless of the matchup. And I don't really like Misdirection, but I will keep this tracking here. Animal Companion, Freezing Trap. I do like this kind of hand. Not particularly. I'd rather have an Explosive Trap in case I'm playing against Murlocs or something like that. But it still works. It still should work out pretty well for me. Tracking is always nice to have because okay, so he didn't do anything on turn 1, so that really gives me an idea of what he's playing. Unleash the Hounds is not quite as good against the slow Warlock, so I think I actually might go for Secret Keeper here. Especially considering I can coin it out, and unless he has Demon Fire, he doesn't really have a good way of killing this. Till turn 3 he can Shadow Bolt it, or he could Soulfire it, but again, that's not really a good way. Okay, well I guess I was wrong. But for now I'm just gonna Freezing Trap here and attack, and then this just enables me to basically kill the Zamani Berserker for all intents and purposes. I'm not really sure how he could be running a Mani Berserker. I don't know, man. Another Amani Berserker, and a Young Priestess, and a Soulfire. Alright, well that makes this turn pretty easy. Oh wait, no, this thing is a 2/4 now. Alright, well let's go with... No, I'm going to go with this thing, just to make sure that I can kill the Young Priestess here. He's got this 2/4 now. I can always just Freezing Trap it. He's got another Amani Berserker in hand, which if he does play, I can just kill it. There's a Timberwolf. I think I want to... Okay, so if I do play this Animal Companion, the 2/4 isn't very good. The 4/4 is good. But that's it. 4/2 is fine. I can just trade with that. So the 2-4 is actually just pretty bad here, but everything else is good. Alright, this is fine. Actually, I can just go upstairs here and then take out that guy. Unfortunately, because I do have these 2 traps that I could have played instead and like not attacked him, but explosive trap is really, really bad on this board. Freezing trap's fine though. Okay, so that's a pretty good one here. He's not going to... That's fine. Okay, so options here. Probably going to tracking first. If it's Unleash the Hounds, then I'm very happy, although I did throw one away. Okay, so then I'm going to be able to Buzzard and Unleash the Hounds this turn, but I can't Timberwolf. So that'll allow me to trade there, knock off the Divine Shield there, and still draw 3 cards. So I think that'll be the choice. Oh, actually, yeah, I can't knock off. I can't kill this guy. Unless I draw Hunter's Mark. Okay. That was a fine turn. It wasn't great for me, but I managed to get a full hand. The biggest issue is that I'm out of Unleash the Hounds right now. Double Mortal Coil, sure. I mean, it's not bad for him, but it's not like absurd or anything. That's pretty good because it gets that thing out of Unleash the Hounds or Explosive Trap range. Now I have to decide what I want to do. Actually, I think I've decided. No, that's not so good. Playing Explosive Trap on this board after killing this doesn't really matter. I guess I could just shoot this, drop an Explosive Trap. Let's do that. Because I don't really want to take any more damage here. And I didn't want to play the Secret Keeper out because he could just attack into it. But shooting this makes sense if I have Misdirection too. Either way, I'm pretty far behind right now. And I don't have any Unleash the Hounds left in my deck, so that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's not good. So I need to be able to kill this thing. Alright, so the way that the triggers would work, I can play Explosive Trap first and then play Freezing Trap after. This time I think I have to play it, and it should be fine because he can't kill it. Unless he attacks with this, and then the Freezing Trap will go off anyway, so this should be fine here, actually. Second Explosive Trap was a pretty good draw there. And I also lost my Leroy. This is actually going to be a really tough game to win. I don't know why he played that first. Can't really imagine. I mean, unless he's not going to attack this turn. That's weird that this didn't trigger. Oh, did he attack this? Maybe he attacked this. And now, okay, that was really good because he can trade with that. That was actually amazing to have that right there. Full hand. The problem is I don't even know what I'm looking to draw in my deck right now. At least I still have this, though. But I think it makes sense to just drop these things to draw some cards because they're not doing anything else in my hand anyway. So now I have a pretty big... Oh, actually, am I just dead? No, he can hit me. He can play this, the Doom Guard, but it's going to cost him 7 mana. And then Explosive Trap will trigger and kill all his guys, except for this. So he can hit me for 6 here. And if he's got a Soulfire or a Power Overwhelming, I'm dead, but he has to have that as the one card in hand. I mean, I guess he could draw in order to get into Soulfire, but he hasn't played one yet, has he? I think he did play one early on. Maybe that was the game before, I can't remember. Or is this the first game that No, I played a game already. The person played 2 Voidwalkers in the early game, and I couldn't do anything. Man, this is a close one. Alright, so he's just going to check to see what the trap is. Makes sense. But if he does attack with that, then that means that my creatures are going to survive, and I'm going to be able to kill him next turn. If I were him, I'd probably... I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I think Explosive Trap was the best one for me to have right there, but down to 8 here. Okay, well... Okay, so he figured that he needs to draw Soulfire here to win. Wow. That was... that was as close as it gets. But he could have played the Voidwalker first, but then he would not have been able to also play... he wouldn't have been able to also play the... He wouldn't have been able to also draw, so he could go for a Soulfire, and he was just dead. I don't really know why he attacked me. If he had hit maybe one of... I don't think he could have survived. No, that was the right play, and especially since I had an Arcane Shot in hand. That was a really strange one. I did not think I'd be able to pull that one out, especially after losing both the Unleash the Hounds and the Leroy to the trackings. Alright, a Hunter. I'm generally pretty good in the Hunter mirrors. Not always. Sometimes it's hard to win them, but Eaglehorn Bow is probably the best card because you're both playing traps, and if you notice the wording on Eaglehorn Bow, it's whenever a secret is revealed, gain +1 durability. Doesn't matter if it's your secret or their secret. Alright, so my opponent's playing the super aggro version with the... Actually, I mean, I think a lot of the versions started playing Stone Tuskboar, and I think, honestly, it might be just better than Leper Gnome. Animal Companion's okay here. Because, I mean, this thing is going to hit you for at least 2 damage if you play it on turn 1 most of the time. Or it might only hit for 1, I don't know. Man, I could really use a... could really use an Explosive Trap right here. Alright, let's just go for the Eaglehorn Bow. And I'll hit this thing. But I am really far behind right now. And I think that the only way that I can win this one is if I outcard advantage him, because I'm not going to outrace him. Still got 3 cards in hand. That's a significant amount for this deck. I guess I can just draw and Unleash the Hounds. Jeez. Yeah, and I mean, Stone Tuskboar counts as a board, or it counts as a beast for that, so it's pretty sweet. Alright, let's go with this. I think that I need to kill this here. And now I just basically have to hope that his top decks aren't enough to take me down from 14 by the time I can kill him, which is going to be a tall order here. So that, like, if that's a misdirection, I am just completely screwed. Gonna hope it's just an Explosive Trap. Damn. Alrighty. So I would be very surprised if this game worked out in my favor. Hit him for 2 by the time he got me down to 8. Yeah, that was a super aggressive start. But these Leper Gnomes have been less than impressive. And there's Leroy. And Abusive Sergeant. That was just very well done. Turn 5, dead. So, I mean, his version was more aggro, whereas mine is more combo. And I didn't have a very good hand against this. If I had drawn an Explosive Trap on 2, that would have been fine. I would have taken like 5 damage instead of like 15 damage. If I had also followed my instincts and played a couple of 1-drops that turn instead of just hitting myself with Huffer, then maybe that would have been better, but I don't know. Anyway, this is really what it's like when you're playing games at the top, or at least for me, I don't know. You win about half your games. I mean, your opponents, between the matchups that they can have and between the matchups they can have and the randomness and stuff like that, it's sometimes hard to win a couple in a row, or at least for me. I don't know. Maybe other people are not having the same experience. It's not like I'm playing against legends though. I'm playing against ranks 2 and 4 and stuff like that. So it's the same kind of thing that I would see if I were playing on the ladder, even if I hadn't gotten to legend yet. Anyway, my turn 1 here is probably just going to be Secret Keeper and Leper Gnome. I don't know why I said just going to be. That's a pretty daunting start. But if my opponent drops something that can eat the Secret Keeper, then I won't. Okay, so he just did not play a spell. So, again, that pretty much clues me in that he's going to be playing Control. He might be playing aggro still, but not like the very, very aggressive deck, just the one that's kind of mid-range. It's got some Harvest Golems and Chillwind Yetis and that kind of thing. But drawing on turn 2 completely tells me his game plan here. So I'd rather play this thing for now. Explosive Trap might be useful later. It makes sense to do this over Shoot because I get 1 extra damage in right away, and then I have the Freezing Trap out, which is another added benefit. It's not the greatest thing ever to Freezing Trap. I could just Kill Command it. It's also not the worst thing to Freezing Trap though. He's gonna gain some more life because of it, but he's not gonna be able to play it forever. I don't think it's an issue. Eagle Horn Bow, yes please. I'm not going to use the other tracking yet. Because I can use it in a later turn to fill out my curve, whereas this turn I can just shoot, which is really good. I guess alternatively I could have just played the Explosive Trap so he couldn't have hit one of my creatures with that. But I mean, it does give him another card in hand, which is kind of what he wants. He got the 3 life out of it, and now it just gets to stay as a card in hand, count for his Twilight Drake and his Mountain Giant. Alright, so getting to the point where I don't really want to activate his Mountain Giant, or his Molten Giants here. So I'm probably just going to hit him for 6 this turn, take him down to 13 so he can play a Molten Giant and 1 Sun Fury Protector. That was a weird thank you. And I'm probably also going to tracking here. Ancient Watcher. That could be very detrimental for me. But basically, the goal... Oh, wow, that was an amazing draw. The goal at this point in the game is to get him to a life total where I can just burn him out behind his taunts, because I know that he's going to be able to get them down, so... that just makes more sense to do it that way. I'm going to go for the Starving Buzzard. Maybe not. Maybe the Arcane Shot, because that's like 12 damage, plus the Steady Shot. Yeah, I think I can actually... if I draw a Beast, I guess, I can actually take him out before he gets low enough. So, okay, so if I play the Eaglehorn Bow instead this turn, because it might be the last turn that I can actually get my Eaglehorn Bow out there, then I can hit him for 4 down to 15, 12. He still can't do anything that impressive with Molten Giants, unless he draws. If he draws, then he can play 2 Molten Giants, but let's hope that doesn't happen. But either way, the reasoning behind this play is again, I know he's going to get some taunts down. He's got 9 cards in hand, and he's at a low life, so he's definitely going to be able to do it. The question is really if I can kill him after he does that, and I think by making this hand, I will be able to. Obviously, if he doesn't have any taunts, then I'm going to win next turn. Or maybe, I guess not obviously. There's a chance that I do. 7. Right, so this is hitting him for 5, 7, down to 5. I can't quite kill him. because I don't have a beast. Either way, he's only at 6, so he's going to be able to Siphon Soul, but he can't do anything else. So let's just Explosive Trap here. No, it doesn't make any sense. He's not going to attack me next turn, so there's no point in Explosive Trapping. You could play Secret Keeper and then Explosive Trap. I'm just going to play an Arcane Shot here. It does help the mana a little bit. I guess I could have played this out too, or this, just because. Yeah, that was probably a mistake. Probably should have played one of those out. But it looks like I'm gonna win. I mean, he could, even if he plays a Siphon Soul here, I can just kill command him twice. I think it would be really tough for me to lose from this spot. But I'm really actually thinking of switching this Leper Gnome out for a Stone Tusk Boar. I can just think of a lot of situations where it would be a lot better. This is not necessarily one of them. In this situation, Leper Gnome seems a lot better. Because I can get damage through taunts. But I don't know what he was expecting. I guess he was expecting to lose. Alright, so let's do one more game, and hopefully I can win it, so that way I win my 2 out of 3. That'd be pretty nice. And I can also get my 3 victories thing. 2 out of 3? 3 out of 5. That way I can win 3 out of 5, and look like I'm impressive and not just pathetic and a loser and sad and, you know, alone and stuff. I don't know. More Warlock. Man, I did not realize that Warlock was going around like it is. Alright, so I think I'm going to keep one of these Arcane Shots just to take out like a Knife Juggler or a Direwolf Alpha or something like that. Because again, the matchup that I just had was so easy. I had so many cards left over in hand at the end of that game. In this matchup, less, or if it's an aggro matchup, then I really have to work towards it. Okay, so he is playing the aggro one, and he's going to be able to coin out an Argent Squire. Sure, you got it, bruh. Secret Keeper's a good one, but I'm gonna hold on to it for a turn here. In case he's got a Direwolf Alpha, you would just be able to take it out. I can play it and Misdirection in the same turn, though Misdirection is not very good out when you have your own creatures, because often enough they just attack into your creatures instead of you. That's a pretty good one. And now we're really looking for that Explosive Trap here, especially if he heals that. Healing that one's not so good anyway. Alright, so I'm just gonna shoot this and shoot him. He's gonna be able to hit me for 4, but there's not really much else I can do about it. My hand is not very well equipped to deal with this board. Once I do draw and Unleash the Hounds, it will be, though. Because I'll have a lot of cards that, ugh. That is scary. So yeah, this deck is pretty interesting. I do like it. There we go. Find some Unleash the Hounds or Explosive Traps or something. There we go. That Explosive Trap. Yeah, I think I do want to play this. It's unlikely that he's just going to trade it for the Knife Juggler. He's more likely to just hit it with this, I think. Though he might not want to play into Explosive Trap. But even so, it is saving me life. No, it's not. It's doing nothing if he just attacks into it. And since I have another trap, that would be a little bit... Maybe it was a little bit... oh, okay. That's pretty good. You know, almost all of his things survived that. Only the 1/1 died. Alright, well at least all of his things are X1s right now, so Misdirection will kill something. Or if I had drawn an Unleash the Hounds, that would have been incredible. I think I still want to kill this because it will deal a lot of damage to me this turn. And hopefully they hit each other and not him. I mean, he might not even attack. Or hopefully he plays like a Defender of Argus first, and then like that thing kills the Defender or something. I don't know. Alright, so it would be pretty bad if it hits that. Or it wouldn't be that bad. Oh, the worst. Alright, this is okay though. He did not draw. Interesting. Alright, we'll do an Animal Companion here, hoping for Leok. Upper's not so bad, but not ideal. Yeah, I mean, that was clearly the worst of the three right there. I guess Leok wouldn't have been that much better. But at least I get to, like, kill a couple of his guys. Alright. So now I'm dead if he... No, I'm not actually dead if he has, the big guy, Doomguard. But I have about one more turn to see an Unleash the Hounds here. And even so, I still may not be able to win. Because that's going to be 5 of my mana, so I can only have 3 more left after that. But even if I draw like 3 or 4 cards, it might not help. Did I use an Arcane Shot yet? I did. Power Overwhelming. So it looks like I'm going to lose the game this turn. That's 10, so he just has to have a Soulfire or Doomguard. And he had another Doomguard. So that was... whoa. Okay. Looks like he's going to give me another chance. Does not look like it. Unleash? No Unleash. How does he know that I didn't have it? There's no way I can survive though. Well, maybe he'll screw up again. I don't know. That was pretty crazy. He just gave me another turn at Legend. Like, how often does that happen? Anyway, I screwed up. Or I did not screw up, but my deck let me down. Maybe it's not as good. Maybe it's not very good in this matchup. And I mean, as you guys saw, that was basically the matchup that I played against half the time. So why would it, let's go back and review the deck. Why would this deck not be good against the aggro one? I think it might just be because I didn't draw that well. Animal Companion is sub-bar against them. They play like defenders and buffers and stuff like that. So Shattered Suns and stuff. So the Animal Companions are fine, but it's not any better than like a Shattered Sun Cleric. Eaglehorn Bow is pretty bad because they have a lot of taunts. I guess it really comes down to them having a significant amount of taunts, and me not having enough ways to beat through them. And I couldn't provide enough early pressure where I was the aggressor. They were always the aggressor, and once they become the aggressor, since their deck has really good mid-range elements, it's better. I guess what it really comes down to is my deck, even though it's more like a combo deck, is classified as aggro and theirs is mid-range. And mid-range generally beats aggro because they can go just a touch slower and do a lot of things. So if I want to beat that deck, the aggro one, then I'd probably play my Druid mid-range deck. And I'm not sure how good this one is against them because I haven't played the matchup. But this is what I'd do. I'd probably take out the Azure Drake though, and drop in... I saw people playing Moonfire, which I think is just craziness. So if I wanted, I would drop an Azure Drake and maybe even play something like Mark of the Wild, because they're not playing any removal, so I can just drop that on like an Ancient Watcher or something like that. This is the deck that I think I would play if I was trying to beat those decks. Maybe I would play a Power of the Wild instead, because it gives me some more game with Force of Nature. It doesn't hit for quite so much. It hits for 9 instead of 14, but still a lot of damage. I don't think I would try Healing Touch because their decks gain a lot of board presence. You need something to affect the board. Healing Touch was really good against some decks, but Maybe I would just play a Starfall, actually. Because their decks definitely are weak to Starfall. Nah, I mean, if he's got Defender of Argus, he's not that weak to it. I guess it would probably just be an Ancient of War now that I think about it. Yeah, I haven't played this card in forever because basically everybody started playing the Black Knight. I don't know. Anyway, next time, let me know what you want to see from me. Do you want to see me play this deck? Actually, just vote. Yeah, if you could vote in the comment section, that'd be great. If you want to see me play Druid midrange, the one that I just showed you, this deck, the deck that I played today that went 2 and 3, so not so well. Handlock, which I'm really bad with, but is the deck that we saw in Game 2, though I might make a couple of changes to it. But this is essentially the deck. I think I would take out the Ancient Watcher and replace it with a Soulfire. Maybe, yeah, I don't want the Shadow Flame and I want another Hellfire instead, I think. But anyway, this deck, which we saw in one of the games that I was able to win pretty easily, this Mage deck, which is similar to Trump's Mage deck, except it is running some rares and stuff. I'm not exactly sure if this is the perfect version of it, but this is essentially the deck that I would play. I like trying, I really wanted to try out Counterspell, and I actually just love this card in this deck. Mana Worm is terrible, though. Does not have enough spells to do it. I don't know why I kept one Mana Worm in. I think I'm just going to drop a Blizzard in instead. But, or maybe just an Ice Block. Because, I mean, it does have some elements of, like, wanting to burn them out, but maybe not enough. Not enough. I'd rather play Blizzard. Alright, so this Mage deck, so that's choice number 4. Or, I guess a Shaman Control deck. I would probably change it a little bit before playing. But yeah, if you could vote in the comment section, that'd be awesome. And that way you can see what, you can vote for what you want to see in the next game. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.